Okay, I want to give a video out on this. The Open Bible, which is one of my favorite Bibles. I have another one that I've shown online, but I decided to go get a new one that I seen on eBay, and I got it for $22. And this actually sells for about 55 to 70. I've actually seen people try to sell them for 80. I think on Thomas Nelson's site they sell them for 66 or something like that, maybe less, but somewhere around that area. I don't agree with the price. With the $20 I spent on this, I agree to that. I got this, and I love everything that's inside of it. The paper and everything's great, but the binding on this Bible, I do not recommend anybody buy this if you are, going to be disappointed by the leather. If you're looking for a certain type of leather. If you're familiar with the Open Bibles, like I am, I've had a genuine leather one that I own, and I've seen other ones, and this is nowhere near the quality that Thomas Nelson has put out in the past. I have no idea why they would take a Bible that a lot of people love this Bible and pay lots of money for old ones. Actually, I've seen on eBay that have been used by people. People will pay $60 for a Open Bible because they love these Bibles. They're very highly collectible, but not just that, the text inside is amazing. And this is a Bible that they don't always make. They make them for a while and then they discontinue them. So when they come out, everybody kind of waits, and when it comes out, they run out and get one. And this one just really, it's a disappointment. Not that the study notes and everything inside is great. It's still the same stuff. But I will show you where they've went with their leather. On camera, like I've seen it on camera, and now that I have it in person, I kind of knew what I was getting into. But you just don't know it until you get it home and see it for yourself. On camera, you see this really rough looking grain, which is really neat. It is cool. I like the look of it. I don't care for the side with it saying Open Bible. It almost looks like a novel, like a regular book that you would get and read. It feels that way too, kind of in your hand. But the leather itself is just cheap bonded leather. They make it look really nice in the pictures, but you look at that, it doesn't even go down. I don't think it ever will. It might start to, but my plan for this Bible is going to be a rebinding. I've never done that before, and I was talking to my wife about it, and she was like, I should go for it and bind it if I can get it done for the right price. I'm going to have this rebound because this is one of my favorite Bibles. I love the Open Bible. It has so much good stuff inside that I want to, put it in something nice. But I highly recommend, if you're not going to care, about it being, pretty cheesy on the outside, and just, want for what's the good stuff inside, then I highly recommend this Bible. But if you're somebody who's going to be very picky about your quality of leather, I don't recommend you get this, because that's just going to drive you crazy. You might, love what's in there, but this is going to drive you nuts unless you have the money to go and rebind it. If you're not familiar with the Open Bible, it has a huge encyclopedia indexed in the front, and that has helped me immensely with Bible studies. Even more than a Thompson chain. I like the Thompson chain. My wife is more familiar with the Thompson than I am, because I've used the Open Bible throughout my life more than the Thompson, and I just find this way more. It's just a better study tool for me to find stuff to study on. Sometimes you feel like you just don't know what you want to study on, and the encyclopedia on the front, it's 380 something pages, and it's just full of all kinds of word studies. But inside it's a typical Bible. The Bible paper is very nice. The gilding's nice, just normal gilding. It's got a good shine to it, but it's a little flaky, kind of like Thompson's gold, a little bit, kind of thin. Nothing like local church. You can see the difference. with the gold there. Local church is leaps and bounds above, mainly everybody, unless you get a R.L. Allen or Cambridge or something. This thing is just full of all kinds of study aids. It's not one of your typical study Bibles where it has, a bunch of stuff at the bottom. It doesn't have a whole bunch of commentary. It's mainly a reference chain kind of study tool where it chains with certain doctrine stuff, and then you have the encyclopedia index, study tools in the front to just bounce off of, and I'll show you what it looks like. But it has all the main stuff, in the front, that study tools, The Christian's Guide to a New Life. This is one of the main studies that you can go throughout the whole Bible and study on. Measures and all those good things. And here's the encyclopedia index. And it does have a page that has all of these, so you can find them quicker. Me, myself, I just like to flip through here and look at everything. But what they do is they take every single subject and, categorize it into different categories there. I'll let you see it. If you want to, you can pause this video and take a better look at it. So I'll try to make this video so long that everybody knows my videos are kind of long, so that's just the way I do it. Try to get my camera to focus there. But it's just really neat. It just, every subject they have in here just keeps going and going, and it's full of stuff. It's unbelievable how much stuff it has in here. And that's where it ends. I'll show you how thick it is. It's 300 and page 335, roughly. Probably 320, not considering the front pages. But, look at that. And it's a pretty thick chunk there of Bible study for you. It's great. It's amazing. And then the text is like that throughout. It's a nice, clean, crisp text. This is a little smaller than I'm used to. Most of their Bibles have a text that's probably about one size larger than this, maybe two. This is like a 6, I would say, probably a 6 point something. I'm not sure if the box said it anywhere. I think it's like a 6.5, kind of like an older Thompson chain, if you're familiar with that. Yeah, it doesn't say on the box. But the layout's really nice, and titles above each subject in the chapters. Like here's the start of Isaiah. It gives a layout and little picture themes that you can follow throughout the book on studies that it has. And then, forgive me here, my pages are still stuck together. It still goes. It still has, Christ in Isaiah, which is just a ton, because we all know, Isaiah is one of the greatest prophets, and it spoke about Jesus and prophesied about his coming. So it's just full of all kinds of good stuff, It's a really cool Bible. I recommend this Bible to any Christian that loves to dig in and have a lot of extra stuff, and it's not, a bunch of study notes that somebody's trying to push you towards, or having like commentary down here that says this is, what I think. It's just, like a Thompson in a way. It just lets the scripture do its thing, lets God's word speak to your heart. And it's a very clean looking Bible. The paper's really actually a really nice quality paper. It's pretty much just like Thompson Chain's paper. So if you're used to Thompson Chain, it's got like an oniony skin kind of feel to it, crinkly. It's got this visual survey in between the Old and New Testament, which is really cool. It goes through the history of the Bible and all kinds of really neat stuff. And it's done in a really clean way. It's not confusing. It's really neat. There's a lot of stuff, even I've had this for a long time, there's still things in it that are new to me. Each time I look in it, it's great. It's a really good study Bible. You'll see how this just keeps going. Themes of the poetic books. And it's still going. And I'm not sure, I haven't looked yet to see if they've added extra stuff to this. From memory wise, I think it's pretty much the same, other than they've changed a little bit of the artwork. But there might be some new graphs and stuff in here, but I think it's just the layout's a little bit different than the one that I had before. Mine was a special edition, the one before this one, so it was a little different. And there's Matthew. I want to show you guys the Jesus in red, and this one is not pink, it's a kind of a burgundy red, and it's really, really nice all the way through. It kind of fades a little bit, but nothing where you're like, wow, that's really light. You know, it's pretty much keeps the same level of ink. You know, like this page looks a little bit darker than some of the other ones, but it's really nice. And here's some of the learning tools that they put at the bottom. Doctrinal studies that they do, sharing our faith, you know, why we're supposed to share our faith. And, you know, just the basic Christian stuff. It's good stuff in here, guys. And if you're, you know, like me and you're into different kinds of Bibles and you haven't seen this one, you're really missing out. It's an amazing Bible. And it comes in King James and New King James, and I'm not sure about all the other translations. I'm not familiar if they have other ones. Yeah, the Jesus in red is really nice. I like that color. It's easy on your eyes. It's not too bright. And then once you get to the back, you have more study stuff, and it's a lot like a Thompson chain in a sense. It has, you know, more study tools, study aids, harmony of the Gospels, teaching and illustrations, the prophecies of Christ, fulfillment, things that came to pass. And then it has like this really neat thing for like street ministry, or just for anybody who's going to minister to anybody out there in the world. And it's like a Christian's guide. There's something on the Apocrypha. It teaches you what the Apocrypha was about when that was in the original King James edition of the 1611. And it tells you, why they don't accept it anymore, and why I feel it should have never been in there in the first place. But it's really cool history stuff about it. And some people say that, the Catholics still keep some of it in their Bibles, but not I. And it has pictures in here like the Thompson chain. So you got like geographical studies, stuff like that. And then your typical concordance, which is really clean actually. It's not huge because the front encyclopedia actually, it just adds way more to it, but it actually still has a decent concordance in it. And then your maps in this one are actually newer than they used to be. They got more colors to them. I like the layout more than the older ones. And they're on that map paper that's really shiny and thick, which I like it when they do that. I'm not huge on maps. I've told everybody I'm not, but like my Thompson chain large print I just got, all it was a map printed on thin Bible paper. And it was horribly wrinkled. It had those compressed wrinkles that you can't get out of it. And just a lot of other things that were wrong with that Bible that I'm going to make a video before I send it off. I'm going to send it off here in a few days, and I'll let everybody see some defects of that one and what to watch out for. But anyways, like I said, it's a nice Bible, awesome study Bible. I recommend you get it, but don't pay too much for it. Try to find it as cheap as you can. This leather is just horrible, so try to find one out there that somebody's selling for, I would say pay $35 for it if you want, but I wouldn't go any higher than that. The leather is just horrible. Try to find a used one maybe, or an older one, because they're way better. But I hope everybody likes this video, and I hope that somebody out there finds this Bible for their first time. It's great. God bless.